everybody, welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. Just a second, I'm going to show you. I just baked a cake. It's a Pillsbury zero sugar. This is during the storming and stuff like that in our area, so you're going to get to see short tidbits of what I'm going to do to it, okay? I've got it baked out of the oven and cooled. Now I'm going to, let me scoot my light up here a little bit closer. I've got 1 stick of butter here. And I'm going to put in, hang on just a second, about 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Now, I could not find my Hershey's, and I had bought an extra one. This is just a Walmart brand, so I've never used this kind before, but just melting our butter and mixing in our cocoa powder in there. So we're going to let this melt, and we just want it to be long enough to get good and warm, and then we're going to pour it over our other ingredients. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Measure with your heart. Measure with your heart, excuse me. Just trying to show you what we're doing to get ready for the ice and snow and stuff that's coming. This is for me. This is for me, okay? And so what I'm doing is trying to keep it as low sugar as I can. That just going to tell you, this zero sugar, it doesn't have any sugar in it, but it still has carbs in it, okay? But that's about the best that I can do because I despise the keto ones. I think they're, just me, but I think they're not very good. I think they just make a real thin thing. Well, let me get this, see it sizzling around the edge. It's starting to boil just a little bit around there. I'm going to move on to the next thing. Okay, here is my baked cake. I flipped this one round side down on my plate and the flat side up. They're very cool. They've been sitting here for hours just cooling. Okay, I'm going to take my bowl. I'm going to scoop this over just a little bit, move it out of my way while I'm making the icing. I'm going to take, I've got about 2 and 3/4 cups of my Swerve powdered sugar. Let me grab my Swerve powdered sugar. This is sugar-free. This is a sugar replacement. Now, like I said, I'm afraid when I'm going to be all captured up in this place for a few days that I'm just afraid I will get to where I get tempted to maybe eat something that I shouldn't. Now I'm going to take that stick of butter and that cocoa and that teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to pour this in my bowl. Okay, just set that there. Stir it. I'm going to put in some buttermilk. Right there's 1 tablespoon, 2, 3. I'm going to put in start out with about 4 tablespoons, okay? I thought I put 4 in there, but I got to doing something else. I've been baking 2 cakes today. Okay, let's stir it a little bit. Now, I'm not sure about this chocolate. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that cocoa. Not sure about that cocoa at all. But Look at that. If it would be strong enough or as strong as Hershey's or whatever, you know. You want to stir this really, really good. And now this is going to be put up for me. Anybody else wants some, they can have some. But I fixed today I did a butter pecan praline cake for Pop and for my family. Anybody, hang on a minute, a hair from my hair right there. That's scary. I'm going to put just a tad bit more buttermilk, not much. Usually I put it to where it feels like it's, this makes 5 tablespoons. I'm just measuring for you all. I would just pour it in and, you know, and go from there. That's 1 more tablespoon, which makes 5. Sometimes I use up to 8, but it's all up to you. Now this is a butter, just like a milk chocolate. If you want it darker, be sure, and I'm gonna put a little bit more, and I'm gonna try to measure, Lord help me. That makes 6. So I like to make it to where it's not running off of your cake. 7, and possibility I might go ahead and put the 8th one in there. But I like it to be a little bit thin to where you can spread it and not so thick. Get that down in there and get it stirred up. Okay, I'm definitely going to put that 1 last 8th tablespoon. 8th tablespoon. And you know, if you have to have more, you just add more. But this is something, you know, believe me, don't go crazy if you're diabetic or whatever. Remember, read the box. Read the back of the box. And you will see how many carbs it's got, okay? And adjust your piece of cake to that. But at least there's no added sugar. And you all know as well as I know how much sugar comes in one of these pre-made icings, or any of the icings that we make. You know, there's a lot of sugar, and there's some sugar-free sugar in there. You know what I'm saying? Sugar replacement. Now let me grab, this is not my little one, but it'll do, okay? Now you can do this cake in a 9 by 13 or whatever, you know, inch dish. I don't have to have a lot of icing. Like I said, I'm making this for Nan. But and it, you know, young'uns, I've never been a cake decorator. I just spread it on there till it covers the places, and that's all I do. And then I go back and wipe. And you can take a little piece of your what do you call it? Your paper, like you use when you line your baking sheets with them. Lord, what's a parchment paper? You can take a little piece of parchment paper, and you can just put that underneath your cake all the way around, little pieces, to where you don't get the chocolate on your dish. But you know what? Sometimes, now listen, any other time I would be saying, well, I need to do that. But There is nobody probably going to be at my house except maybe my family might come play a game, or, you know, I might come and get them to come and cook on the wood cook stove for them during this ice or snowstorm. But there we go. Look at there. This is why you don't see me do too many 2-layer cakes. That is delicious. It's really good icing. Is because I'm just not a good cake decorator. Now I can cook 24/7, but you know, I mean, you have some people that they needed to be, like a lady that goes to my church. I'm gonna tell you something. I went to church with her forever. Teresa can make the best, Teresa Harris here in Irwin. She makes the best birthday cakes, the best cakes. She is wonderful, girl. If y'all looking for somebody to do a wedding, you know, or whatever, she's your gal. If you can get in line with her, she stays real busy. But Teresa can do a cake. Oh my goodness. And I just think, Lord, that's just a talent. You know, that's just a talent. Look at me. I just swipe. But you know what? It's all going to taste the same. It's all going to taste the same. I used to make the kids' birthday the grandbabies. I made their birthday cakes. And they were so cute. I'd make them just like you were going to a shower. And whatever design they wanted on there, I would do it. But I would always make each individual piece decorated. Oh, mercy. It's not too bad. Pop was like, well, what kind of cakes did you make? And I said, well, I made you a butter pecan praline cake. And he was like, Oh. I need me a little, what do you call it, that you just turn and you can smooth it like this as it goes. Ruby, Pop's working. He's wiring in, him and Brent are wiring in a big generator, trying to, you know, he got a good deal on one a few months ago and didn't know this was going to happen, and hadn't planned on, you know, getting it, but when it came forward, the Lord provided. So him and Brent are making all the headway, wiring everything in. Look at that. And you know, because it is the sugar-free sugar, you know what I'm saying, the sugar replacement, it melts real quick in your mouth. It's not like regular sugar, but it's pretty close. Monk fruit, I use monk fruit, but the icing's not a big thing to me. I think I splattered some off there. Hang on a minute. This is late at night, young'uns. You're getting me when I'm wore out. So you might see me a little sloppy tonight. All I seemed to do today was wash dishes and bake and cook. I'm trying to get things done up so we'll have a few things during this cycle of snow and ice. I'm praying for you all. I hope you are safe and warm, and things just happen, don't they? The Lord don't make a mistake. Well, how's that look, young'uns? I wished you was here to where you could speak to me. How's that look? Oh, mercy sakes. Now, I will clean all around this plate and we'll be back, okay? Oh my. Did that make a nice piece of cake there? This right here is enough for 3 meals with me. It cuts so nice. It always helps to let your cake now. This is my cake, so I know nobody else is going to want to eat sugar stuff. So, Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for your blessings, Lord. Thank you for the sugar replacement that you give us, Lord, in order to have something sweet, that we can have something sweet too, Lord. Thank you for your blessings on us today. Thank you for watching over and taking care of us, Lord, and being with all the people, all my friends out here, God. Thank you for being with them, keeping them safe. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm going to take one little bite. Your taste buds, whenever you are diabetic now, I'm not talking about somebody that just eats what they want. They're diabetic, but they just eat anything they want. But I'm talking about somebody that has stayed away from the sugar, try to get it out of their bodies. It just gives you a different, things just taste so much better. They do. It's really good. Let me tell you what I did when I baked that cake, okay? Again, I'm gonna show you, I've got some icing. I laid my knife on top of that. 0 sugar, Devil's Food Cake by Pillsbury. Now, I'm sure you could use a keto, but I don't think the keto would be this big and look that nice when it's icing, but you can still use the keto. But, I was going to tell you something, if I can remember it. Oh, Lord, young'uns. I'm telling you, it's been a day. I was going to tell you what I put in the cake. The cake called for, let me put this in my soapy water over here where I'm going to wash some dishes. The cake called for 1 1/4 cups of water. And you know what? That's what I used, 1 1/4 cups of water. And I told y'all, I really tried to watch. I tried to watch and not use my milk. I didn't want to open my milk and wanted this milk to last as long as it can, because there's stores that don't have a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk in. So I thought, it's not going to kill me to have 1 1/4 cups of water in my cake. And it's really good. And it calls for a 1/2 cup of oil. I used a 1/2 cup of applesauce. And I used 4 eggs in this instead of 3. That's the only change that I made, was I made change the oil into the applesauce, which, you know, helps calorie-wise or whatever. And it's just healthier for you. And I'm trying my best to get away from vegetable oil. I hardly ever use it. But I keep it here in case I need to make something, but it's just the truth. And, but this cake is really, it's a goodly low cake. That's all I got to say. If you're struggling with maybe weight loss, I mean, if you're not diabetic, then you want to stay away from carbs or whatever if you're just trying to lose weight. Because I have a lot of people say, Nan, I need to lose weight. I need to have surgery. And they tell me to lose weight so I can have the surgery. So I'm just saying, you know, this is a treat. And you know what? You could cut that down the center and you could definitely freeze it. Or cut it into pieces and put it in individual things so that you wasn't tempted with all that out there at once. Now, it has buttermilk in it and it has butter, which butter's okay, but the buttermilk, you need to keep this in a cool place. I don't have to worry about fitting it in my refrigerator because it won't fit in there right now. So I will put this, well, hang on a minute. Let me get my little towel here. Oh, mercy sakes. I handled this with that icing on my hand, and I made some fingerprints and got some icing on it. But this is one of those little cheap ones from Everything's $1 or whatever it is, $1.25. So I'm just going to set that on there. I'm going to put my lid on it. These little things just pop out. They keep it airtight. They really work. This one is almost better than some of my big, nice, expensive ones. My other one that's real expensive. And you know what? I'm going to take this out to my car, and I'm going to put this in the inside of my car where it's kept nice and cold. Even if it freezes out there, you know, what's it going to hurt? But that way the bears won't smell anything. With my door shut and locked, it won't get in there to bother anything. There's more than one way to keep things cool while that we are experiencing. We're going to have plenty of snow to pack up. Maybe set your milk outside. If you're someplace where you don't have to worry about animals, don't worry about it. But I would rather set my milk and things like that inside my car with the doors locked, because we had, it was bear season here a few months ago, and I think they thinned them out. Somebody told me they got about 5 through here. So I don't have to worry about it, but I'm not taking any chances. But what I'm saying this for is to say, you can put your things outside. Pop sets his tea outside. Whenever I have a big refrigerator full of stuff, he sets his sweet tea outside because ain't nothing going to want that sweet tea. We've never had a problem with that in the wintertime. We just set it out there. So, I just want to tell y'all I love yous. I appreciate y'all coming with me today and staying with me while I made the icing. The cake is very simple. Like I said, you know, y'all make the cake. And you didn't need me to beat up the cake and make that cake for you. The icing is what I wanted to make to show you how to make one. That swerve is absolutely, it's a sweetener. It is the ultimate sugar replacement. And you can get different brands, but I just happen to have, I'm using up everything. I had 2 of these, and a little bit in this one and a little bit in that one, and put them together and used it. That's what you can do. Use up what you've got without buying something new. Then if you want to try a different brand, you can use a different brand. But the swerve has worked well. I'm going to set my little cake into my car before it gets too cold for me to go out there. And I just want y'all to know that I love y'all, and I hope you get a chance to make that simple icing. 1 stick of butter. Had what, 2 3/4 cups of sugar. It called for 3.5. My old recipe called for 3.5 cups, but I thought, no, I'm cutting back on that. Even though it's sugar-free icing, I cut back on that. So just remember, you've got some carbs in that zero, in the Pillsbury Zero, but it doesn't have any sugar. But carbs turn into sugar. So you don't have to school me on that. I'm just saying this is a little lighter than baking a big cake with regular granulated sugar and powdered sugar and things like that. Okay? I love y'all. Stay safe, stay warm, and check on your elderly neighbors, you know, that are in. Check on them, young'uns. Sometimes they, you know, we might be without our telephones or whatever. Definitely probably be without internet and stuff like that during this time. But, you know, you can call 911. This morning I was woke up out of a dead sleep with the weather thing calling on my telephone to warn us of what's coming. And they said, remember, you can text on your phone. So even if you don't have internet, you can text 911 if you need to get a hold of somebody for help. 911, you can text it on your phone and still get through, okay? I love yous, and remember how much the good Lord loves you, okay? And I will see you next time if it's His will, okay? We'll make it through this. Bye-bye.